Otherwise, everyone's trying to build the YouTubes, everyone's doing that. Some of them are doing better than others. I do feel like it's mostly just a crap talk game, and they're all doing really well by talking smack to about each other. And they're just kind of like feeding the game who can be the most trade attainment, and they're part of that process. So I don't know. Get it together, people. We're all
Yeah,
adults.
good morning, Jenny, too. And yeah, everything you said, yeah, I think everybody should take a note to that. But also too with the futures prop firms, there's a lot of different options for prop firms. So many different companies are coming out. Some of them are like so new, so you sort of have to do your own homework, ignore the noise with some of them, because you don't want to be caught in a situation where they're giving rules that are too, I guess, advantageous to us as the consumer. Where if it's too good to be true, then you may have some issues on the back end. But there's also each prop firm has its own benefits as well, so you need to like sort of do your homework and see what works best for you. Because the other thing too is with futures, just like Jenny's mentioned multiple times, is that if you have the money, then going into your own brokerage and actually open up your own account would be better as far as building. You have your own rules, everything's static, you don't have to worry about end of day drawdowns, trailing drawdowns, etc. But if money is an issue, then definitely, like she's mentioned, starting with some of the smaller accounts like the Apexes, which sometimes can be the easiest, cheapest barrier to entry to get in, is good. But you don't necessarily have to go with Apex or Take Profit or TopStep, whatever. There's a lot of different firms. There's even straight to funded firms. There's some firms that are offering static accounts. So the main thing is seeing, maybe some of the top influencers in the space who have shown they've received proven payouts, and also seen other people, going in chats or seeing other people who have received their payouts. You can go on X and see people who will post their payouts as well. And then based off of that, whichever firm in the rules matches up with where you are as far as in your futures trading journey, then that's a good way to start. And the whole point is to get the payouts, like Jenny mentioned, not get caught up into the gambling mode, because that's something that's a little bit new to us too here with futures, because it's so cheap to get in that you can buy multiple accounts and end up spending as much as what you could have put into a regular account. So just taking the one or two accounts, growing those, and then if you do grow those, then you can take those payments and stack more futures accounts if you want, or based off of the rules, when they finally move you to live, you can take a percentage of that and put it into your own personal account. So you can have diversity in different places. So there's a lot of benefits to a lot of these different future firms, but you do have to do your research on all the ones. If you don't want to do research, then go to the ones that Jenny's recommended, because she's vetted those companies, which is why she's recommending them. There's so many of them, she can't recommend all of them.
Can't.
Um,
It's a sticky game, but you brought up a good point. Like, that's what makes me a bad salesman. Like, if we do the math, guys, if you get 20 accounts with Apex, pass them all, okay, first try, by the way, and pay the activation fee, that's give or take $1,600 to $2,000. Please forgive me, the fees might be a little different at any given month, but that's $2,000. With your own $2,000, you can put that money into an AMP and trade micros, okay? Start with MYM, start with MES, not MNQ, okay? And it will take you all month if you're taking 1 to 3 trades a day to blow that account. Okay. And there's no rules, there's no psychology to kind of bust through. I know that's not good for my little affiliate system that I'm working on kind of building up to get bigger with these prop firms and stuff. But the truth is, I do think they're a great cost to for entry. But at the end of the day, I will 100% always be an advocate for your personal funds. Use them to get the payout, use them to get the skill, and then move to your own money, because the mess, and there's, it's not just that, it's the other cost, right? It's the sunk cost, it's the opportunity cost. In order to trade these different prop firms, you need software. Some of that software is, $100 to $500 a month. In order to trade these props, you need certain tools. Affordable tools, or whatever the heck that stupid website is, sells $5,000 packages for NinjaTrader, which I feel like should be a sin. Okay, $5,000 for an archaic dinosaur system. NinjaTrader is a dinosaur. Okay, they're selling $5,000 indicators for a dinosaur. Okay, sorry, a little stuck on that, but literally there's a huge other cost that goes into this, where again, if you just had AMP, you linked it through TradingView, or I'm a big fan of MT5, you don't need all those other things. Okay, and even the tools that you would need, like let's say you got cool trading tools, That's 800 or $1,000 for that tool, and it works on everything. It's so different. But yeah, do your own research. I have a whole host of them. Actually, I'm sending them over to the developer. I don't know which other ones I want to work with, mostly because the mirroring process is becoming just not easy. It's not easy, but do your own research 100%. And be careful too, because remember, you and I can call each other on the phone today being Thursday and have a prop firm up and running for a very, very small amount of money. A valid, real, authentic prop firm. You and I can have one published and promoting by next Friday for money that we probably have in our bank account. That's how cheap it is to start a prop firm right now. It is very cheap. So we don't want to trust every one of these prop firms that are popping up because a lot of them are just pop-ups made by bozos. Be careful. So this NQ looks like it's 10:30 now. I really wanted to see a bit more than we saw this morning. Take everything off the chart. Go to the big time frame. We rejected hard and fast off that NVIDIA news. We're really topping out potentially. I still personally think we've got a 3 to 5% sell side potential. Okay. Obviously, we need to get and stay through. We need to close, retest, and stay down some of these levels. Okay. Period. We need to get past this. We might not. So I can't say. Today being Thursday, we've got 5 days until our next class. A lot of divergence on every single one of these instruments. ES is literally aiming down, and okay, this is big time frame stuff. NQ is more flat. YM is just, it's also aiming down, but very, very different price action in this range right here.
How do you actually do you trade any differently when you do see the divergences? Like with specifically like with ES and Q?
That's an SMT. So like look up SMT with what is it, Smart Money Concepts or ICT? I forget. I think it's Smart Money Concepts, but divergence, without going into all the stuff I don't know and I don't want to define, inaccurately, but SMT divergence and or divergence to me is still a reversal indicator. Like it's a sign of potential reversal. It's a disagreement in price. Okay. It's a disagreement in price that where there should be some amount of agreement in price. That's what makes SMT so significant as ES to NQ, specifically talking about the SMT divergences, it's significant because this shouldn't be to that extreme. So it's a sign of potential reversals. So I use it as confluence. Like I'm not necessarily trading just because like there's an indicator on TradingView that will print the divergences from NQ to ES, the SMT divergences particularly. I don't trade it as on standalone. Like I would trade it with confluence to say, hey, look, we've done our liquidity grab, we have an SMT, we've, filled this area of interest. Now I know I can be looking for my breakout to the downside, my JGS to the downside. I'm still a huge advocate of JGS because it's an earlier entry. It's earlier versus waiting for a breakout. So it's earlier versus a lot of things, but I would use it as confluence is how I use it. So NQ, that's this right here is this 2-minute time frame. So you have a downward slope. You have this kind of happens at the wrong time there. Let me double check. Yeah. There's divergence right here, which is telling us that the direction it's currently moving, there's a potential for it to reverse, and it did. So this line versus this line, it's telling us we were going to reverse, and it did. So we'll see.